Hey guys, playing with a game engine today. This looks like it has a lot of promise. This Amethyst game engine. It's written in Rust. Um, Basically, the people making it are using best practices as far as game development goes. They are making everything open, MIT license and Apache 2. Those are great licenses. They're sponsored by DigitalOcean, JFrog, Sentry, Netlify, Embark. They got like a peace sign of rocks for their logo of crystals, Amethyst. And they have phenomenal documentation, and I am a sucker for good documentation. So yeah, I'm gonna mess around with it, and eventually, I think I'm gonna maybe do a course on this game engine. So. Just installing it right now. The command is cargo. This is to use the CLI tools. Cargo install Amethyst tools. First, you have to make sure you have all your dependencies installed, which are described in the README file, which is right here. I'm not sure about Windows because it's not listed here, and I'm not sure what this is referring to. This other part, it says see your distribution specific installation process. I just clicked around real quick and didn't see anything on that, so I'm just going to go for it and see what happens, see if we need anything else. Hopefully it'll tell us. And then what do we need after that? We'll go with the starter project. We'll just hack around with it for a little bit and see what we come up with. Oops. Yeah, so it's installing a few things here. Amethyst is installed into two major versions. There's like the latest version, and then there's the stable version, basically. It's a good way to do it. And you don't, I guess you could just do cargo, like add Amethyst as a dependency on your Rust project, but it seems just a lot easier just to use Amethyst's CLI command line interface and just do it that way. It just creates the folder for you, the cargo, the toml files all configured, and this got this display.ron that I don't even, if you create a cargo project, it doesn't even give you that at all. So that's something you would have to create otherwise. So, well, looks like this is going to take a little while. So I've been playing around with, I've been looking at Amethyst and GGEZ. Those are kind of the two most promising. The difference between them is GGEZ is based on the Love Game framework in a way, or it's like a Rustified version of. Basically, GGEZ is good for getting up and going quick if you know what you're doing. It's good for like game jams. The downside of that is that there's not great documentation on it. Whereas with Amethyst, their documentation's awesome. It may be a little slower to get started, but they explain everything. You can. I kind of would prefer that. I mean, if you just want to get in and make a game and you kind of have an idea of what you're doing, then GGEZ it's cool. It's really good application. Amethyst though is a little more feature complete and has better documentation. As far as I can tell, those are the main differences between those. Oops, why do I keep opening that one? But yeah, I decided to think on Amethyst here. So cool, looks like it's going. Let's see if we can get this Amethyst new. We'll just call it a test game. Rust convention, which is snake case. No new versions found. Checking for updates. Project ready. Okay. We should. Oh crap! I created it here. Let me just. I don't know. I'm always bad at remembering commands, especially when it's between windows. Okay. The item has children. If you continue, all children are removed. Or if you want to continue, yes. Crap. Do not remove item. You don't have sufficient rights. Oh crap. Okay. Can I do sudo? I don't know. The new Windows terminal, PowerShell. It can do a lot of Linuxy commands. Let's see if this one works. No. Sudo is not recognized. Oh, I know what I can do. Easy enough. Run as administrator. Oops. Cannot find terminal. Make sure you do it. What? I wonder if I only installed it for this user. I might have. Well, I installed it from the Microsoft Store. Maybe it only installed for this user account. In that case, let me just. I'll just create another folder here. I can always just go in and. That was easy. I made that way harder than it needed to be. Okay. Amethyst, new, testing. Okay. So I think we can just cargo run it. Let's see what happens. It'll have to compile here. The rest takes forever on the first compile. Not to mention half the time it's slow on all the compiles. Usually it's not. As long as you don't make too many changes, it's not too bad. Yeah, the first one though, it's going to download like all the dependencies and do all that stuff. But at least I don't have to go through and download these myself, or and that's way more automated than a lot of older stuff was. So can't complain. Okay, that was pretty quick actually. Here's the build process now, compiling everything, which will be a lot quicker on the second run because most of the stuff will already be compiled, and it actually just stores that stuff. The compiled code for that stores it in this target folder. If you delete that target folder, then it has to compile all over again. I believe that's where it stores it. Let's look at this display.ron file. This is something I think that specific to Amethyst. I don't think it's a Rust thing. Yeah, title, test game, dimensions. Okay, cool. So you can set dimensions right there. That's cool. I like that. It's fun stuff, messing around with game engines. It can be very annoying too, but it's all right. So one thing I'm interested in testing out, I'm guessing, so there's the whole issue with CPU clock speeds, and a game updates once every CPU cycle. So if you have a CPU that has, it's 3.7 gigahertz clock speed, then it's going to update the game a lot. Each game update is going to happen a lot quicker than like a 1 gigahertz CPU, clock speed CPU. So so that means it's going to things are going to move a lot faster. It's going to be like in fast forward basically, or the 1 gigahertz one is going to be like in slow motion. And the programmer can either handle that and compensate for that with a lot of calculations and programming, or the game engine can. And like GGEZ doesn't do it by default. I'm hoping Amethyst does. I know there's another one, this Tetra. It actually does it by default. It's deterministic game loop by default. This fix your time step. If you have to do it manually, this is the article to read. This since 2004. This is like a classic right here. Classic article, like blog post or whatever it is. But yeah, it explains all the math behind it. And once you're done reading that, I don't know, at least me, I'm like, yeah, just do it for me. So anyway, what do we got? Could not compile. Dang. What do we get here? Impl, you must specify at least one graphical backend. Oh, where do I have to specify that? Types.rs. Well, that's kind of cool because I think it went to Vulkan automatically the last time I tried using this engine. So that's cool if we can change that. So let's get into that. Where's that going to be at? Let's see. Source. No. Where's it? Let's just do this. See what this has to say about it. Hello, this. Ah. If you wish, you can still access the information. Cloning. Let's see if we can just get to it. Ah, that sucks. I'm gonna have to put in a pull request for that. Maybe in the API reference? No. Let me just Google the error. That's probably a better way to do it anyway. DirectX 12 is disabled right now. Interesting. Just copy that right there. Okay. Now, maybe I should have read this more. If you want to get running as quickly as possible, start playing around with it. You can use a starter project. Especially readme files on these will include everything you need to know to run the starter project. Let's just do that. The only starter is, but why would they give you all this stuff without giving you like something that, like a hello world at least? It's weird. Okay. Anyway, let's do that. So this Windows PowerShell, this new Windows terminal is cool, but they do not have, they have it, you can make it transparent, but it makes it like frosty transparent, so you still can't read text through it. I'm a big fan of the transparent terminal window so that you can like just lay over something and just see exactly what it is still and not have to like, so you have to move this around and okay, so git clone. What am I doing? Just copy and paste it. Oh crap, I'm in test game. Oh jeez. Let's do it right there, I think. Okay. Amethyst. Starter. Duty. And cargo run to build it. Okay. Let's see what happens. Only 3. Download and compile. Download and compile. I wonder what the starter project is. Like a hello world, or is it more? I'm so excited to see. I want to know. What is it? Oh, it's compiling. That's good. About halfway done compiling. It's got a lot to do. Let's see. Oh, that's just the crate docs. Yeah, this is a great book. This is really well, not perfect, but it's not as good as the Rust book. I think the Rust book's phenomenal. You know what else I think is phenomenal? Phenomenal is the Arch documentation. Whether you're on Arch or Manjaro, if you ever have an issue, or even a lot of other versions of Linux, the Arch documentation is just exquisite. It's like the best documentation on any computer related to anything I've ever seen. It's phenomenal. It has never let me down once. Documentation always gets outdated for everything else. not for Arch. I don't know how they do it. It's phenomenal documentation. Maybe because it has to be, because like nobody could use Arch otherwise, because it's very DIY, I guess is a good way to put it. But anyway, getting there. We're almost done. Game loop. You can tell I was looking at this is a cool little book here. It's online. It's free. GameProgrammingPatterns.com. It's actually a book, but you can just read it right online for free. Download free sample. Read now. Web. And it's got everything there. Contents. Got all the different patterns. It's a pretty cool book. I like it. Explains stuff. Close that out. I think we're done with the getting started too. Yeah. Onto the concepts, which I'm not going to dig into just right now. I've read a couple of those so far, but we're just going to kind of hack our way through this starter 2D project. See what happens. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So what can we do? I don't think we can do anything. Oh, it detects key presses, but it doesn't do anything with them. If we hit escape, that takes us out of it. Okay. All right, that's fun. I like that. So we're detecting key presses. Let's make something happen when a button is pressed. Why am I not in visual? Okay, so let's open our project folder in Visual Studio Code. Source main. Oh, and we got state and main. Okay. So, this is different than GGEZ. GGEZ just has the main typically, unless you add stuff. But the starter projects and the example projects are all just in one file. So let's see. Here's where we load the sprites, initialize the camera. Here's a state, just the simple state. Okay, that's good. So what states are in Amethyst is they're different states that the game can be in. Like you could be on the load screen, and that's a state, or you could be on the pause screen. That's in like a pause state. You can create your own states, but you can be at the title screen. That's a state. You could be game state, and that would be while you're playing the game, while it's not paused, while everything's running. It looks like simple state. I think that's just a general, like, we're not going to have a bunch of states. We're just going to go simple state. Camera, I guess you can, this is be more for 3D type stuff. Or no, I guess it could be for like top-down stuff too. And then sprites, those are our, okay, we want to mess with these for sure. Then we got load the sprites definition, create our sprite renders. Let's, trying to think. Snowflake. What am I? Gosh, what's the word I'm thinking? Creative Commons. Just find a free Snowflake here. Commons Wikimedia. That's a good one. I like that one. It's an SVG. Why isn't it letting me? I'll put it in that project folder. Just make it easy to type here. So we'll just call it Snowflake. I don't know if that's going to work. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to try and open Internet Explorer. Why is that my default? This is a new computer. Let's just try it in Firefox. So, wonder if Amethyst can use SVGs. Doesn't really say there. And then we go to the, oh, let's try it. I think it was a PNG in here right now. Where are we at? Sheet handle, texture handle. Where was that? Camera. Init sprites. Where's it pointing to the file at? Asset store, sprite sheet, loader, load, sprites. Oh, it's in dot. Let's see what this is. So that's interesting. It's just specifying sizes. It doesn't look like it's in where it's placed on the screen. Is that what that's specifying? Height and width, but it's not. Is that? Oh, those are multiple sprites. No, I guess it's just one sprite, huh? Oh. Okay, so that's the sprite, but if we run the game, it's like pulling it apart. That's just one image and it's pulling it apart, and that's kind of cool. I wonder how they're doing that. Let's see. So, okay, so this is probably like kind of like an image map. It's mapping out where where each of those are. X axis going back and forth. Yeah, that's what it's doing. So we don't really need that. Let's see if we can just, that's really cool that you can do that. Oh, that's because, yeah, so you can use sprite sheets. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see if I can just, what was our snowflake.svg, I guess. We'll try that. It might be better to start with just a JPEG, we'll try it. If that doesn't work, we'll go to a JPEG and just in case it doesn't work, to make it easier to troubleshoot. Yeah, that didn't work. PNG logo was loaded, but no handle to it was saved. Okay, so maybe that's being loaded somewhere else. Let's see. Let's go to main. Resources. app.join. App.join. Application root. Okay, so we can use it. So that's where it's telling it where the resources folder is at. I don't see logo.png in there anywhere. So oh, here we go. Load sprites. Sprites, logo.png. Okay. It's going to try and use that run file probably on this, but well, let's try it. Let me see if I can save that as something else. No, just SVG. Well, let's save that like that anyway. Oops, no, I didn't want to do that. Let's make it snowflake, because I think the other way I saved it wasn't very good or something. Yes. All right, let's try that. So, is there any other options here? Nope, just SVG. See if it handles SVG. Did I change the code? No. Snowflake.svg. See what happens. Moment of truth. And whoa. Okay, so it broke it up with that run. This is what, yeah, this is like the, yeah, okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, we're getting somewhere. Let's see. Wonder if we could just contains metadata on our spreadsheet. I wonder if I could just, I guess I could change the run file. What is run? I've never even heard of that. Let's run file format. I'm sure it's something, some kind of, it looks similar to JSON. Rusty object. Oh, okay. So it's Rust. I guess I have heard of that. It's like Rust version of JSON or of TOML, or no, not TOML. Well, TOML sort of. YAML is another one. Markup language. Except it's an object notation, not a markup language. So we got the logo changed. I think that's a good place to stop for now, actually. At least, you know, things are working, so that's good. Got it running. I don't know, we'll mess around a little bit more in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.